Welcome back everybody to Dan Has Fun, playing Humankind. Last episode we actually accomplished something. So now the Maya are our vassal. We wanted to just take them over outright, but we didn't quite have enough points to do so. So in terms of what a vassal actually does in this game, practically speaking, all of their resources become yours, and technically vice versa. And then in terms of treaties, they have to, like I said, share resources, share vision. We control what their beliefs are, and we control their foreign policy. So they shouldn't be able to like declare war against another nation, for example, unless it's us, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Anyway, it went pretty well in the end. And just between episodes, just so you didn't have to watch it, I just rejigged the queues for most of these cities, just so that we had, things set up so we weren't purely and simply building units forever, because we can't afford it. We're at minus 27 already. So I'm going to move those out of the way, because I'm going to have a stack of units come over and take over a CAD city centre, and I don't want it to be unable to build, because we are going to build a couple more units over here. I've got a 4 stack going up here, just to do a bit of fog busting in case Black does attack our vassal. Yeah, and we want to make sure they have some protection, because I'm guessing they have pretty much nothing at the moment, given we kind of went to town on them. The other really great thing is that because they're now sharing their iron with us, we can now get those heavier swordsmen if we want to. We're not going to do it right now because we don't need to, and it's just money for money's sake if we spend money right now. But yeah, we're making progress. So these 2 units are, definitely going to move over to a CAD. Which tile is technically a CAD? It's this one. So have you go that way. And end turn. We should have a few turns now of some relative peace and quiet. I don't see any encroachment on our border, hopefully. Oh, apparently we have units lost at sea. We'll have to check. We've just got feudalism as well, which means we can now, if we get a city, another one, they start with repopulation. I don't think we will, honestly. We also have crop rotation, so you just get more food production, which is awesome. And then we have peasants, which are just an upgrade on those citizens we saw with the Maya last episode. That's it. And we will have got a science star as a result. How are we doing? We're winning, only just by the skin of our teeth. Black will probably go to the next era next turn. So we've still got competition from them. Because Orange, Magenta and Lime have all been kind of knocking 7 bells out of each other, they haven't really progressed in the same way, which is awesome. No qualms or complaints there. They are lost at sea, so what we want to do this turn is make sure that they don't end up in deep water. So we're going to just put them there and have them wait for the turn, and then they should be okay. I know it sounds callous, but we don't really care even if they do sink. There's nothing for them to do. We just don't want to see wasted resources more than anything else. So we'll have these guys stay stationed there. We do have an event, a blossoming of beliefs. Religious feeling is strong across the Empire, but that is not preventing discord from emerging from among the faithful. Great cities are finding themselves under the sway of diverse religious leaders who each see the standard creed with different eyes. New religious orders are emerging every year, and their influence is growing. What should you do with these groups? So we can just dissolve them, that gives us more faith for 10 turns. We can influence them, and that gives us a little bit more faith for 10 turns. Or we can lead them and get a lot of faith for 10 turns. Not really a huge amount of difference. Let's see from a social axis perspective. Any of these particularly interesting? That does make a change, but I don't feel like it's a good change, so I'm just going to leave them. And we have to pick some techs. So, 2 things I've done while I was redoing the queue for a few of these cities. One is, obviously, reduce the amount of military units that are being built, because we don't need that many. The other part is a bigger focus on gold and science, because we have quite a few techs to backfill, and I feel like that would be a good use of time. We don't need trade expeditions. Craftsmanship is okay for the charcoal kiln, but it's not hugely important right now. Foreign outposts make things cheaper, but we have a vassal now, so I don't think that's as big a priority either. Seafaring mastery just gives you more money, and the cogs that we just don't care at all about. Military architecture could be interesting. You can start merging cities together, which is Definitely an interesting idea, but not interested in enough right now. Not interesting enough, not for my liking. I haven't seen anything here that makes me really excited to go straight for it. You can get a saboteur if you go for guilds, which is a slightly different type of melee unit, because you can't see them until they show up next to you, or you run into them, I guess. That's actually the start of the pollution mechanic too, but we're not dealing with that yet. We're in the medieval era. We don't even know what pollution is. An apothecary, though, can be pretty helpful. We're going to go that way, and then if we have to fill any text on the way, we just will. An apothecary allows you effectively to use your science to boost stability. And eventually you are going to run out of good stability boosting buildings and bonuses. That was nice accidental alliteration. Yep, so the Aztecs, so black has gone forward. They are now the Poles. And our ally is constantly being found. And actually, the Poles, black, have just declared on a nation that doesn't exist? What? Where even are the Mongols? Do they get taken out in one turn? That's hilarious. Terrible, but hilarious. Okay, I guess we'll be keeping an eye out then. Yeah, I always forget, these are 20 gold upkeep a unit. They cost a fortune to maintain. But I guess we'll use them to do a little bit of scouting. Yeah, that is so expensive. If we just got rid of them, we'd be making so much money, but I can't justify it when there's still fog to bust. So, which fame stars are we close to? We're getting pretty close for fame. We're making about 1,000 every 4 turns, so that's what, like 8-9 turns away. And we need 2 more districts, and we're definitely building a district in Akkad right now and one in Nemossos, so we'll get that by accident, even without trying. So we're good there. These 2 units are now just going to sit in place. Clearly, in the long run, we're going to have to start putting more of our units up north. But the nice thing about having a vassal, I guess, up here is that if black does attack us, we're significantly less worried. What is that symbol? Oh, okay, that would be it then. So yeah, so purple's a vassal. Oh, I say purple's kind of magenta-y pink, really, isn't it? So the Poles have a vassal, we have a vassal. They are bigger than us, which is a little bit concerning. So now really the next question is, should we go after orange before black does? He hates us. They have 100 war score. We only have 60 though, which is interesting. Do we have a reason to be mad at them? We're going to refuse their demands. They are not getting that.
But no deal is better than a bad deal.
I'd actually quite like if they would antagonize into a war with us. Also, if I propose an alliance and they say no, do I get war support? I bet I do, but I bet it's not very much. So I'm going to try and offer something like this, because I don't think they'll take it. Yeah, they'll refuse. And we do get, yeah, 5. And then we can demand that they do it. And then that'll increase our war support in theory, right? So we'll keep an eye on that for a few turns and see how that gets us going. Meanwhile, if I move these guys further forwards than that... Actually, they're on 0 movement this turn, but next turn I'm trying to plot out. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, we should be able to get to a coastline in 2 turns so they don't just die and we waste our investment. So that's fine. Yeah, they are at hate-filled, so they're never going to accept anything that we do, which we can use to our advantage. So apparently we have a new grievance, and it's for the Poles. Oh, wow. There's a lot of things that we hate each other about, I guess. So my vassal is trespassing. We have a load of oppressing the faithful issues on their end. We're saying that they're oppressing our people and that they attacked us. I'm just going to have them demand that because I want some money.
However, in this case,
pay reparations or face grave results.
And we're not doing that.
A dog's contempt.
So there's certainly going to be some type of conflict in here. Actually, when I go back to that screen, what are we looking at in terms of level? Yeah, their war support is higher than ours. And they hate us with a passion. But I'm not convinced they're actually really any stronger than us. Especially because, well, clearly these guys had nothing. Otherwise, they would have at least held out for a few turns. Or maybe just the game's AI was a bit better than me at doing that decisively. We will see. Anyway, we're not going to give them anything. These guys are going to sit. We clearly have enough units over there now. Because I thought orange was going to be my priority, but my priority might just be not getting toasted by the poles. So I'm going to do that, and then next turn we'll move into this coastline. Because if this is a separate area, potentially, we can move a couple of military units, or even those scouts over and found an outpost. And then that will help towards the fact that we are an agrarian nation at the moment, and we get more fame based on population growth. And obviously the more settlements you have, more likely you're going to be able to do that. These guys are going to settle as well and station in place. We have a lot of units over here, so I'm not worried about being attacked from our west. The question now is, are we going to get our butts handed to us by black? Yeah, that's fine that they're lost at sea, because next turn they will not be. It's fine. And we're going to move them up here because we have enough movement for it. And they're out of action stuff. Is that it? Please tell me there's a big land mass over here. It's not just 2 tiles. I really hope it's not just 2 tiles. Because that'll do us no good at all. Apparently Nemossos is starving again.
I don't mean to nag, but the marks one leaves on history.
I'm not sure how they're exactly starving when they're 3 population above their limit. How does this even keep happening? I'm just going to ignore you. It's fine. I mean, we can't physically put more farmers on even if we wanted to. We could do a fishery and get more food on a harbour, but that's not going to do a ton. Do we even have a harbour? Apparently not. Although we can put a harbour in over... no, actually we do have one over here, don't we? Yeah, I believe we did. Yeah, that's a harbour, clearly. We do have a harbour. I guess we can do that just to try and get the pop-up to stop shouting at me. Get it up there, maybe. I'm just going to buy that. Not because it gives us a builder star, but just to try and get some extra money in. Well, they're losing -3 now. It's not too bad at all. We do have another event, a Weave of Iron and Blood. In recognition of your elevated status on the world stage, a great artist has been accompanying you and your retinue as you travel the Empire and beyond. Now, many months later, the artist and their team have completed their great masterpiece, a brilliant tapestry that stretches the length of the palace. In its embroidered scenes are depicted great glories, marvellous cities, and the people's adulation of your rule. How should such a marvel best be used? So if we hang it up, people love the fact that, you know, we're the best, and they're just going to make industry costs cheaper for all of our military. We can divide it, and that will make people ferocious. Just +1 combat strength, though, I don't think is all that good. Or we can sell it, get a little bit of money as prosperous, and then a chance of another narrative event happening. I don't really want to do that, but I don't feel like any of these options are particularly good. I'm just going to divide it, just because, as a nice person, that is what I would do. I don't like any of the options, particularly, and any of the consequences, so that's just what we'll do. This is not the giant landmass I was hoping to see. Having said that, these scouts are doing nothing. So I'm tempted to get them out there. What tech do we need to get them to embark? We get to use... No, we don't get to use that. What do we need for embarking? Nope. Is it sailing? Nope. What tech is it, guys? It's got to be somewhere. Apparently just searching for embark doesn't quite do the trick. It's not going to be up here, though. Is it seafaring? I have absolutely no idea. Answers on a postcard. Anyway, we'll keep an eye out for it and see if it comes up. Anyway, we're going to scout that out and then we'll move over there as soon as we can. So we have a new tech, we have Theology. which gives us an increase on our city cap, which will be helpful if we start getting things in that little area that we're scouting right now. We can get the manuscript atelier. I've actually never seen that word. So, more science for researchers and just more research slots. And then we have the option to perform a festival, which just gives +2 influence. Please tell me there's more land here than what we originally think. There's a event there, curiosity, but that is not a lot of land. This is its own segment, as you can tell by the dotted borders here. So this is not exactly going to be a treasure trove of fantastic land, although I might still expand there anyway, because it's better than not doing anything, and if I don't do it, the AI certainly will when they get the opportunity. I still don't see any units from Black coming towards us. I don't really have any fog busting over here, though. Having said that, if they were going to attack me from here, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense. There's a 5 stack of units there. What type of units have they got? Ones with a lot of experience. So they have... Oh, Hunnic hordes. They're really not that scary, though. Yeah, I'm not that worried. They can multiply off food ravaging, but I'm not that concerned by them, honestly. But then again, a lot of empires said that over the years and had their days promptly ruined, so we'll see what happens. I know, my army's lost at sea again. It's fine. I think it's okay. I wonder if there's any other land, though, if that's the only set of landmass. I do wonder. I'm going to probably move down there, wait a turn, and then just go south by 4 down here, see if there's anything, and then retreat back so I don't lose them. But I don't think there's going to be anything there of any note. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Alright, so we have the opportunity now to go down there, see if there's anything at all. That's annoying because that was turbulent waters, because it means it's extra movement, so we're going to head back. And we'll try that again in the different direction next turn. Just going to make it do that, for example, just so I don't forget. End turn. We have another era star. That'll be due to the fact that we hit our number there for influence, like we mentioned would happen 8 or 9 turns ago, so we're doing all right there. We need one more star to get into the following era. I nearly said Renaissance, but that is not the right answer. That is in Civ. It's going to be the early modern. Which one are we most likely to get? We either need 3 techs, 3 populations, or 4 military units. I think they're all pretty likely to happen. We'll just see which one happens first. And turn, I'm curious if you guys heard that cat in the background telling me about his day. The joy of recording from a basement. They're cute though, I can't be mad. Apparently Feng Hao has starvation now as well. Let's have a look.
And now the pantry seems
But 21 of 18. So I don't think they're really that bad. We're just going to get a farmer's quarter. I mean, worst case scenario, it's, you know, another building. It's not really that bad. There's no maintenance on it, so not a big deal. That's actually got science in that tile. Oh, because it's a coral reef. Cute. Okay. We are going to stay there for this turn, so we're just going to skip. Another event for disappearing acts. We're not going to read it this time. No, might as well. A citizen of the impoverished city of Feng Hao has come to you with a disturbing tale. Over the last few years, several young people, including his own daughter, have disappeared without a trace. Scouring the lands, he eventually comes across her and others on the stage in Nemesis. The youths claim to be happy with the theatre offering an escape from poverty, but the father petitions you to put a stop to this practice which is shattering families. What do you say? So we can halt them. If we do that, Feng Hao, super happy. Nemesis, absolutely not. We can legalize it, and it's the exact opposite, or we can compensate. So if we give 150 gold out we can get a pretty good bonus over productive, which is, you know, for 10 turns you get plus 15 industry, which I'm going to do. That's money pretty well spent.
Seeing you always brings a smile.
Our ally is very, very happy about us. He highly reveres us. Apparently their strength is comparable to ours. However, you notice the first Arises were much more powerful than them, so maybe not so much. Having said that, their war support against us is very, very high. Why is it so high? Nobody's got any active crises right now, so that'll fix itself. These guys, meanwhile, still just absolutely hate us. I'm tempted to do that as a demand just because I want to try and get my war support up. Theirs is maxed out anyway, so really there's no harm in doing that. I don't know how... Oh, there's rough waters there as well, of course there are. I don't know how long ago they did it, in which update, but I did notice that now when you get down on this part of the map and there's an attitude change between you and an AI, it will actually tell you now what it is without you having to click on it. That's a very good change. I appreciate it. I still think it could show better, but you got to start somewhere. And we do have an agrarian star. So do we want to hang around in this era? Probably not. I don't really see the point in hanging about this time around. Let me move these units back so they don't die at sea. And we are going to pick a new option. So, we can't pick the poles, because that's what black are, but just to show you what they are, you know, in terms of a culture in this game, they get more district fortification and more stability. Going to be pretty annoying if we have to attack him. Oopsie, Daisy got trigger finger there. They also have winged hussars, which are pretty good heavy cavalry with a strength of 46, but they need 2 horses and 2 iron. And their district gives influence, more fortifications, and stability. So this is a very defensive combination. We're not doing that. We're also not going to go for a cultural transcendence, because that's boring. It's not a bad idea, but it's a bit dull. So what do we want to do? Do we want to go for something military as well to protect ourselves? Or do we want to go and, you know, start doing gold or tech or anything like that? We could go for another food option as well. If we want to go food, we do have these options. They also have a unit I don't even want to pretend that I will be able to pronounce. But they start with stealth, which I don't know if the AI in this game will cheat or not. I guess time will tell, depending on who we pick. This is your science option. You get +3 science on any tile that produces science, and then their unique building is a lot of science. But their unique unit is a ship. A ship that needs a resource we don't have yet. That'll be Niter, but we don't have access to that yet. We could be the Ming. They get a rocket cart, which is a very weird heavy weapon. It's legitimately just a giant box full of explosives, effectively. it's a thing, but you need 3 Niter resources in order to do that, so it's going to be pretty difficult to build. I don't even know if we have access to that, but they're all about influence. We can have the Mughals if we want to go for industry. Their unique unit is also pretty dangerous. 49 combat strength, which is massive. We could also go for the Ottomans. They're kind of a little bit of a few things. They do have a bonus to combat strength and cheaper heavy weapons being built, but they also get faith and influence in their unique building. And then you have the Janissaries, which are just specialists when it comes to sieging. They get bonus combat strength. So that is interesting. They only need 1 iron, 1 niter. They're a lot easier to build. Spanish are also combat strength related. They also get a bit of faith involved. We could go Japan if we want to go influence. Or we can go Venetians, go for the Venice side of things. But then they have their money, but they're also a ship. And having a unique ship, I think, would be a complete waste of time here. I don't see it being a particularly great pick. The samurai are interesting too because they're an anti-cavalry unit with 46 combat strength. And obviously the Poles have a unique horse. So that's something to think about, but I don't feel like they're a particularly great fit. Oh, I don't know what I want to pick, guys. I have no idea. I'm actually going to pick it next episode, and not because it's a cliffhanger, but because I genuinely don't know. So yeah, we'll see you next time around. If you like the video, let me know. Either by giving it a like, subscribing, or maybe just throwing a comment in there saying as much. Always appreciate the support. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care now. Thank you for watching the video.